You live.
Are we recording? All right. You've never ate a beet before in your life, CB.
First time was, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago, Blake?
Mm-hmm. Where have you been all your life?
Dallas, Georgia.
They don't grow beets?
They ain't known for beets. I bet they ain't now beet being grown in Dallas.
For real?
In Paulding County?
Yeah, man. A beet is a ground vegetable.
Yeah, I bet ain't nobody growing no beets.
You ever seen one?
Yeah, when I ate one the other day.
Yeah, but you ain't never, like, seen one growing out of the ground.
I haven't seen one that ain't pickled.
Was the ones you ate pickled?
Yeah.
Biscuit, what's the advantage to eating beets?
It's good for your blood and circulation.
Really?
Reds.
Yeah.
Okay. We used to eat beets all the time. We like to juice beets, believe it or not.
Juice beets?
Yeah.
That's a type of beet?
No. No, that's just a regular beet. You take a beet and you cut it up and you put it in a juicer, and this juicer has this big auger in it, and the beet goes down through the auger and it presses the juice out of it. But let me tell you what, if you ever drink beet juice, you better be ready when you wake up and doo-doo in the morning.
You're going to think you're dying.
Your doo-doo will be solid red.
Really?
I'm talking about solid red, Bubba. So that's just a warning to you.
It's alarming.
That's a good joke to play on somebody. Put some beet juice in they drink.
That's a warning to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back to the 3 of 7 podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new to the show, you got Priest Cornbread sitting over there. Ate a beet for the first time. I reckon he's lived under a rock his whole life. You've got Pope Chili. You got Pope Chili over there. He's got him a jar of candy, Werther's Original. He's got the is that a Mormon book, Chili?
Freemason.
Oh, he's got his Freemason book.
Have you
over
been
there.
to the East?
No. You got a looks like you got you a new coin over there too. Where'd you get that from?
Blake.
Is that a Mason coin?
Yeah.
Will you quit swinging the mic away every time you get done talking? Just keep it close to your face.
You hadn't been introduced.
And what's Chili's hat all about today? Have you seen that? Has anybody paid attention to that? Mass extinction. What's your hat all about, Chill?
That's a little race up in South Carolina.
Really?
A foot race. Yeah, I
It's
participated.
a good-looking hat, man.
Yeah.
Dang good-looking hat. Thank you for being here today, Chili. Today hasn't quite went your way, Bubba.
Do you want to get into that?
Well, let me finish introducing my hosts here, my co-host. We got Biscuit over here. Hey, Biscuit.
Good afternoon.
You know, a lot of people are glad to hear you back on the podcast. I've seen and many comments and received many messages saying people are happy you're back.
Well, that's sweet. I'm happy to be back. Blake is graciously sharing a mic with me.
Do you think he's upset about it and he just acting like he ain't?
I think he's too nice to say if he was upset about it, but so far he's acting like he's not upset about it.
And then our other co-host over here, Blake, the tech guy, the bishop, he sits back there behind the computer the whole podcast and just counts the money. Blake, what's up? What's up, Bubba?
1, 2, 3.
Huh? Yeah. I
was halfway through a 10 stack when you interrupted me.
You won today, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Blake hadn't won anything his entire life. This morning, he actually won the competition. And me, Chad, I'm your main host, so thank you guys for joining us here. What, Chili? Yeah, it didn't go so well for you today, and I think that Blake hit the nail on the head when he said, you know, you kind of reverted back into your old ways and decided you were just going to be an individual and start and do the thing your own way. So the competition was a front carry with an 80-pound sandbag, sudden death match.
Yep.
So front carry to death.
Yep.
And you carried that thing about 1,500 yards, I think. What was it, 1,500 yards he carried it?
15, 20 or
Yeah, over 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, none of it counted because you kept using your knee to lift the bag. And so,
Well, first of all, kept using it. What? How many times did I do it?
Oh, it
it
was several.
I have it all on video, so I mean, I
Good.
can go back and count.
Well, good. That'd be wonderful.
But, yeah.
It was quite a bit, Chili.
So you carried an 80-pound sandbag 1,500 yards, and it didn't even count. And
I realized you were starting to make up the new rules that would disqualify me at about 25 laps in.
That's what he does.
About 1,000 yards in, I realized Chad was starting to begin to ruminate on the idea that he was going to make up in his head that would disqualify me. And he
Yep.
ultimately came up with the conclusion that if you resettled it, repositioned it, hoisted it back up as it was starting to slip in the front carry position, that if your knee came into contact with the sandbag, that you would thus be disqualified.
well, I thought that was common sense.
No.
Well, we can get to the bottom of this right now. Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote right here, live on the podcast.
Oh, that's not going to go well.
If we say we're going to carry a sandbag in the front carry position, and then if you hike your knee up and your knee momentarily takes the weight of the sandbag and
No.
presses it up,
No. It's not what happened.
is that a disqualification
Well,
or
that's
not?
even what happened, but
Okay, so let's take a vote.
is that a
Cor-
disqualification?
Cornbread,
I say under the situation that happened, no.
I don't want to hear all that convoluted lawyer talk. I
That's
want to
what
hear.
goes-
I want to hear it is a
No.
It's a
N-O. Next.
You're not gonna cut corn off today.
Chili, what's your vote? Be honest.
No.
Okay.
Are you out of your mind?
All right, Biscuit, what's your vote?
My vote is no as well.
Well,
How
you're done.
how
done.
are you
all we
guys
need.
voting no?
Okay, can I? Will you give me a second and not cut me off like you did corn?
Yeah.
So, I think that you do have a bad habit of changing the rules once somebody else is winning.
You didn't want to carry that sandbag as long as
Yeah,
me. I'll
like,
send out there and carry it all day. Let's
somebody
go
else
back and
is
do
winning-
it again.
If Chili would have had a green shirt on today, you would have been like, "Well, if you wear a green shirt, you can't win this. That's part of it. You didn't know that, but that's part of it." And then Chili wouldn't win. You know, you just got to be very specific and cover your butt. Like if you want to win and you want things to be fair, you need to give clear upfront rules about what you're doing before you start.
So how is it not clear when you say front carry the sandbag? What's unclear about the fact when you lift your knee up to carry the weight of the sandbag in an upward motion, then that's no longer a front carry. It's just for an instance.
Well, you had your hands underneath the entire bag at a certain point, which I would argue is not even a front
still
carry
a front.
anymore either. No,
I'm
I would
car-
argue it was not. I would
My
argue.
hands.
Yeah, that's a cradle.
Yeah. Oh,
You ever heard of a cradle carry? They actually have that in official competitions.
cradle carry.
I mean, your stipulations here are garbage. You're just slap garbage.
You know what, Corn? I'm really surprised you voted the way that you voted on that.
So I'm
Because
thinking
he'd vote
of
for
it
Joe Biden
practically.
if he votes that way.
If I'm toting something and I don't want to drop it, minus it being Team PT, and I don't want it to be destroyed when I drop it, I get to use my knee.
Well, this wasn't
I
a
get
tote
to-
it. This wasn't tote it and don't drop it because you're going to
by
destroy
the
it.
way,
What's Blake's vote?
We're not there yet.
By the way, I went first, which allowed you to even do this. And I went so far on my first run that you said, well, even though I know how far I have to go to beat him, I ain't going to do it. So here's how I ain't got to do it. Here's how I can beat him and not even have to go that far. I'll just go about halfway,
Bingo.
say he DQ'd, and then I win. That's ultimately what happened.
Important question. Did he say right when you finished after he witnessed it? Did he tell you right then you did it wrong, or did he wait till after he went and then
no,
he told you?
I told him right then.
Yeah.
I
No,
told him
like
right
I
then.
wasn't
He told
even
him.
I wasn't even done with my run. I was on lap 33 and he said, "Oh no, you can't you've been using your knee? You can't use your knee."
Chili was doing it, and he said, "Stop doing that, Chili. That's against the rules."
And he kept doing it.
And he kept doing it.
No, he didn't. That is not
Yeah,
how
I
that
did.
went.
I did
This
say
is
it.
on video. Yeah, it's on video. That's not what happened.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, do y'all have a brain infection? Like that's
what happened.
that's, or you just a slack jawed retard? I mean,
Sorry, Bubba. That's what happened.
it's one of the two.
As logical as and honest as a man as Cornbread is, it really astounded me that he voted the way he did, because he knows for a fact that when he lifts the sandbag with his knee, that it's no longer being lifted as the front carry position.
Had you said that at the beginning, I would have voted yes, but you didn't. You said it in Chili's, that probably wasn't even his mid-run. That was quarter of what he could have done. You started saying that. Now, when you said it and announced it, and when I did it, I said, okay.
Yeah.
I
and
cheated.
Chili just kept doing it after I announced it. So,
Well,
Well,
like if you
on
got
lap
it,
33. That's right when I was done.
it's like if you're
It slipped
carrying
out of my
something
hands
in the
after.
front rack position
yeah.
across the gym, and then you have to stop and put it down at your waist, but you just keep walking.
Oh,
and
like
then you
yeah.
kick it back up.
like y'all put it at your waist when you kept readjusting with your hips. What's
Yeah.
the difference, man? I
Because
unilaterally
was
kicked it up with
in
my
the
hips.
front,
No.
Yeah.
not at the bottom.
I never lost grips. I
You're-
unilaterally used my hips.
you
But
are-
like just like this. I went
You're creating
Dang.
and it hoisted it up with my knee. You said it was my right hip, is what it was. Y'all just used both your hips.
He knew it was wrong because he was making excuses. Remember, he said, "Oh, it's just a natural reaction."
Yeah.
That's what
he knew
Corn
he was
said.
That's what I said.
you're creating a horizontal surface to rest the bag on momentarily.
What were you doing with your hips, Chad? Go watch the video.
My hips are vertical to the ground.
Why don't
man.
you watch the tape of me versus you doing it and see how different it looked?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
a lot
y'all need to
different.
just wait until the video comes out, and then y'all can have this argument.
What's your vote, Blake?
Oh, he totally cheated. Yeah, 100%.
It's literally
Okay.
impossible to lift your knee without lifting your hip.
No, it's not cornbread.
By golly,
kind
it
of-
is too.
What kind of body? What
By
kind
cracklies, it is too.
of, kind of body are you
Demonstrate,
living in?
Corn.
Anatomically,
Demonstrate.
it's impossible.
Corn, will you please demonstrate?
This is a daggone.
Knee, hip. Knee, hip.
That's
That's your thigh, cornbread. That's not your hip, Bubba.
Hey, keep arguing. Y'all just embarrassing yourself. You really, it's just embarrassing.
Well, when are you going to release that video?
When am I gonna release it?
Yeah.
Whenever you edit it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I got to do Blake's job.
Soon,
Okay.
as soon as you edit it, it'll come out this weekend.
Okay. Well, we'll let the people see, and then they can vote in the comments.
Let me see. What would you like to title it? Blake wins competition, carries tick 990 yards, or man carries tick a mile? Huh?
Well,
what you
can,
like better?
You can title it "Man Carries Tick a Mile." You did. You just didn't carry it in the front carry position for a mile.
What position did I revert to
That's great.
if I didn't use the front carry the whole time?
Leg carry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I leg carried it for a second, didn't I?
Yeah. 100%.
really did.
You freaking window licking Nimrod. I did not leg carry it for even a half a second.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
somebody on here commented and said Corn's shin bone's connected to his hip bone.
Good night, cornbread. Cornbread, I'm worried about you, man. Oh,
Somebody also said Chad has never been wrong about anything. Chili, just say sorry.
yeah.
Just apologize.
Okay, well, the video will come out, and you guys will be able to take your vote on it. Second thing, Cornbread's been upset all morning. Cornbread, what's going on with you, man? Are you doing 75 hard program?
I am, yeah.
Is it getting a little hard for you, Bubby?
Oh, wow.
Is it just getting a little bit hard for you, Bubby? Is that why you were so frustrated this
I
morning?
was ill this morning.
You couldn't figure out how to put air in your bicycle tire?
No, that is what ticked me off. In all these years, I could put a tar on a 50-ton dump truck, and you ain't got to put now sealant in it. You gonna tell me that ain't by design that you have to put sealant in them stupid bike tires? They ought to be able to pop on there, and you ain't got to put nothing in them. That is by design. That ain't to help nothing. They just want you to buy sealant. Yeah, that ticked me off.
Well, what about when you couldn't figure? You can put tires on a 50-ton dump truck, but you can't use a hand pump to air up your bike tire.
Well, I ended up doing it. I ended up having to pump it up with my pump.
Well, nobody saw that. It's kind of like all those turkeys that you killed that nobody saw.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see it.
Yeah, so 75 hard's getting a little bit hard for cornbread. But,
Don't hate.
you know,
He's in a mood.
keep eating them tuna sandwiches, Bubba.
Oh, they good.
Yep, keep eating them tuna sandwiches and you'll get there. Promise you.
The old ladies are getting their Miss Weathersworth or whatever it is. Is it
Werther's.
called Weather bread?
No, that's Werther's original.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, our pops used to keep a jar of candy like that, but about 5 times that size. He used to keep it beside his bed. You ever seen anything like that?
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah. You remember that, Blake? Oh, yeah. I mean, our whole lives, he had a jar of candy. It was shaped like that, but bigger, and it was right by his bed. I don't know why he ate candy at night. I don't know why.
I also remember going to Mr. Heidi's house, and he had that big old drawer of Mentos he used to keep over there.
Dang.
And he'd give us some Mentos. You remember him?
Yeah,
Across the
yeah.
street there?
Yeah, vaguely.
I have 2 memories of 2 old men who kept like fudge sickles in their freezer in the back of the kitchen. And I just have some concerns, you know, like just thinking back, like
It is kind of strange.
it,
Yeah,
like
I mean.
that these old people hoard all this candy and popsicles and stuff, and like have all the children come back into the back of their mudroom and get maybe I don't know.
They might just like, I mean, them kids might just bring them joy, you
Yeah,
know?
well, we grew up in the 90s, so I think it was different then.
Yeah,
I think
it was different.
There wasn't.
I grew up in the 80s.
No,
it was
you didn't.
really
You didn't
different
freaking
back
grow up
then.
in the 80s. You're full of crap.
Well, I grew up in the 90s, and it wasn't like that.
You grew up in what? Were you born in 98?
No.
December of 99.
99?
No.
Good night.
You didn't do no growing up in the 90s.
Oh,
Well, crap, I
man.
did. I did the most formative years of my life in the 90s.
Age 0 to 6 months. I was. Can I tell a story real quick?
Go ahead, Sweet Pea.
So I put my lunchbox outside on the porch last night because it was wet.
Yeah, you need to clean that cooler out, too. That's in the back of my other Land Cruiser, baby. You just left that in there, and it's full of stuff, and ice is just going all around in it.
Are you done?
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm not cleaning that cooler because you asked me like that now. So you can clean it yourself. But I don't. Blake's pinching me while I'm trying to talk.
Because you're disrespecting his brother.
Why? So, gosh, why did you interrupt me? So, okay.
You let out a lunchbox.
I put out my cooler or my lunchbox outside, right? Yeah. And then don't start. If you guys are going to be like this today, I'm leaving. If y'all are going to bother me every time I try to talk, I'm leaving.
Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
I know you're the only one not doing it. I got pinched, interrupted, and now Chili's going to go, yep, okay, every time I say something. So the lunchbox was outside this morning. I packed my eggs, grabbed my lunchbox, put it in my car.
Yep.
And I worked out, left, headed to Publix to grab something. And I realized that my car is full of ants. I'm starting to get bit by these ants. There's ants everywhere. So they were all in that lunchbox. I can't stand you. They were all in that lunchbox. So I was waiting in line at Publix, and I had 3 people behind me, and one of them ants bit me on the bum. And I didn't even think that people were behind me, so I just started like grabbing for it and itching and kind of trying to figure out where it was. And then I realized how inappropriate it looked, and I got really uncomfortable. So I turned to the lady behind me, and like I don't even know how to. I just said, "I have ants," and then I realized how weird that sounded, and then it was my turn to check out, so I just didn't say anything else. And I think I turned red and got really hot and just uncomfortable and then just left.
Well, if you recall, you recently had an episode where you saw a man carrying a squirrel.
In Publix.
Yeah.
He had a squirrel in his sleeve.
Well,
That's no crap. We were standing in the line at Publix, which is our first mistake for being like poors and going to the grocery store to buy our own groceries.
Oh my God.
That's our first dang mistake. We don't do that no more, baby. We order, people bring us our groceries.
I just went to Publix, but that's what just happened to me. I was just in Publix,
Yeah,
like a poor.
Yeah, you got to quit going there to do that. That's the first mistake. We're checking out in Publix, and she says a man just walked by, and he had a flying squirrel coming out of his armpit of his shirt. and I looked at her. I said, "Did anybody else see that? Are you sure?"
He was mean. He was mean about it.
I mean, and she pointed the feller out, and he's just walking along like a normal joker. You know, he ain't got nothing. Squirrels come out his shirt. and she said, "Hold on, I'm going to go over there and stop him." She went over and stopped him, and he actually happened to be a fan of the YouTube channel. And I'm not joking. I ain't never seen nothing like this. This son of a gun had a flying squirrel named Henry that lived in his shirt.
When we asked to see it, he opened his shirt collar and stuck his head down there. And he said, "Come out, Henry. Come here, Henry."
on, Henry.
And
Like
Henry started climbing all over his back, and he was trying to grab him. And Henry was circling his torso, and that dude couldn't grab Henry because he was too fast. It was wild.
He had a flying squirrel that lived between his shirt and his belly skin. And he carried around a little bottle of water with like that you would put in a hamster cage or something with the little metal thing on it, and he'd pull that out of his back pocket and give that squirrel a drink of water. And he told us, he said, "Don't reach for him because he'll bite the far out of you."
He did say
He
that.
did. He said that squirrel, if the squirrel wants to come outside of his shirt and is on the outside, he said you can handle him all day long. But if he's just kind of resting in his sleeve or something, just peering out, or look, he would look out the neck of his shirt or something. He said if you reach for him, he'll bite the tar out of you.
Remember that time?
That was wild, man.
Remember that time I captured that flying squirrel and put it in our bathroom, and then when I tried to take it back outside, it bit me?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
They have teeth like a beaver. They
Yeah.
have two really long front teeth, and they'll sink them in you. Just so you don't grab a flying squirrel.
Well, that was crazy, man. I can't believe
Somebody said, "He's got a guard squirrel."
I can't
Yeah.
believe those ants, boo-boo.
Yeah.
You can't be.
There's ants all in my car.
Look, we're going to have to burn that car, baby. When you get ants in your car, you ain't never going to get them out. You just ain't going to do it. Speaking of that, you like them tuna sandwiches from Subway, right? Cornbread?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Back when I was, 17, 18 years old, I'd get me some of them tuna sandwiches at Subway, too, because I worked on that farm off of Knox Mountain Road, and there wasn't really nowhere to go in Rockmart other than that Subway. I guess it's still there on the corner of 101 and 278.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an old Subway.
It
That's
is.
OG Subway.
right.
That's back when Jared was still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the early days of Jared.
Yep.
You don't remember Jared?
You don't know Jared?
He's in the Who Scout
Is
now.
it? Oh, the
Jared.
pedophile. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dang Who
Hey,
Scout,
man.
son.
Jared, he's the OG, man.
in the
He got
gulag.
famous before even social media or anything popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went to his head though, didn't it? He couldn't handle all
I
the
think
fame.
it went to his dude, personally.
Whoa.
Good gosh, baby. I used to get those tuna sandwiches one time, but I used to eat eat
Really?
them, and then I'd throw them in the back
Yep.
of my
Wow.
Toyota.
That's
You
interesting.
remember that old? Did you ever know me when I had that green Toyota?
I knew you before you drove. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I bought. We bought that green Toyota from Danny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one.
It was pristine when we
Yeah.
bought it. Had 50,000 miles on it. It was a 98 Toyota Tacoma extended cab. I used to throw them half-eaten Subway sandwiches in the back of my
You do what?
truck there, yeah. And then, during the week, I'd go to school. Well, when we would leave school, I had this pass, this work pass, where I could leave school early and go to work. Well, my buddy Brandon Price, he didn't have a work pass, so what I would do is I would move all that garbage in my back seat, and he would lay down, because in the back of them extended cab Tacomas, they ain't but just to about 2 feet of space. He would lay down back there, and then I would pile all that garbage on top of him, because there was a gate guard at school. So when we rode out, the gate guard would look in the truck, and make sure I wasn't sneaking nobody out. Well, Brandon was buried in the garbage back there. But one time I did that, and I happened to like move one of them old tuna Subway sandwiches, and the wrapper came off of it, and when the air hit it, it sprouted black mold instantly.
Yeah.
It just covered in black mold instantly. So I don't know what was going on with it, but that I'm just telling you that because you might want to think twice about eating that tuna. Because as long as it was in the wrapper and there wasn't the oxygen hitting it, it was fine. But as soon as it was exposed to oxygen, it just folded up in mold, man.
It won't do that in your stomach.
Well,
My stomach's black mold. No, can't handle it.
well, there's something in there.
Look, I got one real quick. I'll make it quick.
Don't make it quick.
You don't have to
Corn.
make it quick, Corn.
You take as long as you
So-
want, Corn.
We're just getting warmed up.
We was dove hunting over there at a buddy of mine's pasture, and there was about 12 of us out there dove hunting, and we killed a big old bassel of doves. Cleaned the doves, go on about my business. 2 or 3 days later, all my shells was in a backpack. 2 or 3 days later, that white truck I got, man, it was just smelling bad. I'm like pulling everything out. One of the kids, I'm thinking, has left something in the truck, some type of food, something like that. Like, what's going on? 4 or 5 days later, like, I mean, you couldn't hardly stand. You're gagging, trying. I mean, it's the only vehicle I got. I'm like running to get out wherever I go. A buddy of mine, his name's Tim Shipp. He talks like he's on Andy Griffith's show. He said, "Hey." I said, "What's up, Tim?" He said, "I'm sorry I left so early the other day when y'all was cleaning them doves, but I put mine in your backpack." I opened that backpack, dude, and when I did, the maggots just come out like a volcano, son. Whoosh! He had put 8 doves in my backpack and never said nothing. I'd moved that backpack out 5 or 6 times trying to find that dang smell, son. That was rough.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
You're friends with Herbert the pervert? By the way,
I gotta go pee. Carry on, Chili.
by the way, don't slip a candy in your mouth when you tell that story. I mean, just don't.
This is along the same lines of I asked Chili a question earlier, and there was some kind of beef between Chili and Corn licked his lips at Chili in defense, and I was like, I gotta go, and I left the room.
That's how I was trying to explain it. It wasn't licking my lips like at Chili. That was a defensive posture. Thank you, Brooke, for clearing that
I have
up.
never in my life licked my lips in defense of myself. Didn't you demonstrate that, Chili, how a person would lick their lips in defense?
You have to back up a little. It's not seductive, but it's. That's what Corn. That's exactly what he did. He was actually stepping to me, but then I said that to him, and he went.
Corn, you're gonna have to get off that 75 hard, Bubba. You're gonna have to get off that, man.
Nah, it's going good, dude.
It's tearing you up,
It's
Bubba.
going good.
Boo, have you ever licked your lips at someone?
No,
Well, you should start.
can't say I have.
Somebody pisses you off, you just lick your lips at them.
All right. Well, are we ready to start the podcast?
Thank you for ignoring me again for the 3rd time. I really appreciate that.
Oh, we've already started, man.
Thank you.
Oh, this has all been being recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Corn
Is
hit the-
anybody still watching this, Blake?
447 people.
Dang. Well, I guess we better start the show then. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is the 3 of 7 podcast. This episode today is brought to you by our partners at Barbell Apparel. If you guys haven't checked them out, you definitely should. They got everything you need from running shorts to running pants to gym type shorts to running shirts to whatever you need to get out and move and do the sport that you enjoy. Barbell's going to have something that fits you, that's functional, and that works better than anybody else's stuff out there, right? So today, I have my Ranger shorts on, which is just a really basic short. It's kind of like all uses. I can run in it. I can bike in them. They got big pockets. These are the shorts that I ran the Cocodona 250 in. You can get them with liners, without liners, however you want them. They're just really comfortable and really functional. Chili, what's that tank top you got on?
Blake, is this the Phantom?
No, I think that's a pair of shorts. I think that's the ultralight tech tank.
Okay.
That's what I
Oh, that's
call it.
right.
Looks good
I
on you,
call it
Chili.
the Phantom tank, but I think that's wrong. Whatever it is, I like it.
And Blake, what tank you got on?
Same one.
You got that green on. That green looks good on you, Bubba.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
This
Yeah.
is that extra ultralight material,
Yeah.
which I like a lot. Good to run in, good to work out in. You know, like when you carry that tick or you go work with barbells in the gym or stuff, it don't, I don't know, whenever I'm wearing t-shirts or tanks that are a different material or have in the past, it starts to rub me in a way that I don't like. Chafing. This prevents that to
Nice
me.
and smooth against your skin.
That's
yeah.
what I'm telling you.
Yeah. And Cornbread, he's got his. What shorts Cornbread got on? Is that the Ranger shorts?
Yeah.
Lift your hip up.
Yep. Look at that. He's got the camo on. So Barbell Apparel, we've been partners with them for a long, long time. We've put their products through the paces in all different types and styles of activities. And, yeah, they work well. Not to mention their products are awesome, but above that, they're amazing people to work with. We really, really appreciate their partnership. And if you guys enjoy the show, go get you something from Barbell. Check them out, man. Barbellapparel.com. It means a lot to us for you guys to support the companies that support us here at 3 at 7 Project. So thanks a lot, man. All right. So we got some Patreon questions here in just a minute. But what I wanted to what I had on my mind today is I wanted to ask you guys a question. What do you think the, I guess you would say, the top elements of success or like winning are? Like if you had to narrow it down to 2 or 3 things, look back on your life when Chili, maybe it's a race or something that, you won. Like what are the top things that allowed you to win? Like, is it hard work? Is it specific training? Like, what are the top things? What do you guys think? What comes to mind when you think about the key attributes to winning?
Go ahead, Blake.
I don't win anything.
You won this. You won today? How'd you do that?
Yeah, you won today, Blake.
Oh, you won today, Blake.
Was it mindset?
That's a big one.
No, I mean, for me, it's always been consistency and specificity. Because I've thought a lot about this question and how to train. And I mean, yes, those are kind of, in a sense, broad terms, but actually not. Consistency, to me, that just means that may look like 3 times a day working out or training, or it may look like once every other day. It's whatever is appropriate for what you're doing, but just some sort of consistent training. You can't train for anything once a month and expect to win or expect to get better at it. So consistency, and then specificity is literally as simple as, if you're trying to run better, then run. Stop doing calf raises and bench press in the gym and saying, well, it's going to help me with this and that, and it's going to...
Yeah.
No, it ain't. I mean, if it does at all, it's so minor. It's like you need to run first. Those little minor tweaks and minor additions and, like trying to deadlift for a faster mile time, like it ain't going to do it for you, really. And that's not to say there's not some benefit to that, but ultimately, if you're not at the top end spectrum of the sport, focus on the activity itself to get better. So like with running, just run more, run smarter. But specifically, if you're running ultras, Some people will get that they need to run for that, but then they'll want to go do sprints all the time. It's like, well, I did sprints 3 times a week for 2 months before my first 50 mile, and I don't know why, it sucked. Well, but yeah, you ran, but you didn't run specifically for what you were doing. You didn't mimic in your training what you were going to do. You didn't expose your body to the demands of what the actual nature of the activity itself was going to be. You didn't make adaptations by imposing the specific demands of running for hours. You just did sprints, which, yes, is running, but that's not going to cut it. So to me, it's real simple, but if you put consistency and specificity together in a proper way in your efforts to train for whatever goal it is, I don't see what else. You can talk about other things you need and this and that, but it's kind of just fluff. It's like if you consistently and specifically train for your goal, that's all you can do.
Yeah. Well, that's a good. Those are good points right there, Chili. And yeah, it's been a long while since you've expounded upon those. I know those have both been important to you in the past. I'm asking this maybe for Cornbread, for Blake, for Biscuit. Maybe if I read this, maybe you can have a little more input. And this is from 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Know ye not that they which run a race all run, but only one receives the prize? So run that ye may obtain. What's he saying there? Run that ye may obtain. There's only one wins, right? Everybody runs the race, but there's only one winner. What's he saying? Run that you may obtain.
He's saying run to win.
Run to win. Yeah, that's right. But we're talking about the how. The how, right? And so as I look back on my life, I look at the kind of the major victories that I've had in life, the major things. Whether the first one for me was probably the first big one for me was making it through SEAL training, right? And so I think about why was I able to do that? Well, and then I can look at some of the races that I've won or I've done really good at. One being the Mid-State Mile. When I won that in 2021, I think, the second time. Why was I able to do so well at that? Why was I able to win there? And a lot of people will also try to bring up the whole, natural talent or ability. And they'll try to say, and look, man, you're only going to win things based off of your natural ability or if you have some sort of talent in, you're better than this thing at other people just naturally. You don't really have to work with it. Yeah, you can win to a certain extent that way, but you're not going to win when the competition gets real legit just based off of your natural talent, right? But Paul's saying run in a way that you may obtain victory, that you may win the race. So when I have looked back again on the things that I have got through or done well at or won in my life, when the competition was up, it was hard, right? I wasn't just out there with a bunch of yahoos, right? Like we were today with the sandbag. There's one thing that stands out to me, man, and it's singular focus. The times that I have won, it's always been at something that I honed in on, and I had a singular focus to win, to obtain victory at that one thing, right? I don't know. It's what stands out to me. You know what reminded me of it too, man? Kurt this weekend. He just won at the Tactical Games, our friend Kurt. And they did an interview at the end with Kurt. and Kurt made the statement, 2024, for me, it's all about winning the national championship at the tactical games. He has one single goal for the entire year. He has a singular focus, and it's to win the national championship at the tactical games. For me, when I won the Mid-State Mile the second time, I had one goal for that entire year. It was to win that race. I didn't have any other races on the calendar, right? I didn't care about anything else. When I made it through SEAL training, I remember when I was going into SEAL training, I remember my SEAL mentor, Frank Cutler, always telling me, like, hey, man, you don't need to have a girlfriend. Like, I remember him telling me, all these guys that are going in here who are married, they ain't going to make it. And he was right. That happened to be right. All the guys that I went through buds with that were married, I don't think maybe one of them made it through, but every other one quit, right? The reason I was able to make it through SEAL training definitely wasn't because I had some talent. It definitely wasn't because I was any fitter or tougher than anybody else there. It's because I had this singular focus. Like, I literally didn't care about anything else. Nothing. Anything or anyone. And that's why I was successful there. And I think that it takes a singular focus to be victorious at anything that is difficult, right? At any challenge that is difficult. It takes a singular focus to win. That is the thing that's... And it's a reminder for me because I've always known that. I've always known, yeah, if I want to win this thing, like, the fact of the matter is I can't have anything else in my life but that thing. I can't have any other distractions.
You were dating me.
Yeah. But
you just forgot about that, huh?
I mean, the truth of the matter is I didn't really care about that.
In his mind, he wasn't.
So you just took a mental hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's a. It goes back to what Chili was talking about last week. Chili was real honest about when he was racing. He said, I didn't care about anybody, man. I didn't care if somebody died, if it was their birthday, if it was their wedding. He described that singular focus. And I believe that's at the very top of why he was so successful. Because if you wouldn't have been that singularly focused, there would have been somebody else out there who was, and you wouldn't have been able to beat them at the highest level. You see what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. I mean, as it pertains to trivial matters like running races, I don't think it's a good thing to be that singularly focused. Like, you read that verse, I mean, he's not really talking about you should run to win a foot race. So I think we glorify having this singular focus for things like an ultra marathon or
100% we do.
Tactical games or whatever. And it's like, I mean,
we glorify it because because everybody that's winning at the highest level, that's the mindset that they have.
Yeah.
And so, we glorify it.
Yeah.
Because we see their dedication to that single thing.
Yeah.
And we glorify it. Yeah, for sure.
Most people, I like what Chili's saying. I was just reading this verse, and the title on this little chapter, starting with verse 24, this website decided to call it the need for self-discipline. Because at verse 27, he says, no, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I've preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. And that makes me think about, I feel like I know a lot of people, and this kind of goes back to what Chili shared at the end of the last podcast. A lot of people, including me, I also don't win at things, but I do like to do things. But a lot of people I know that are obsessed with winning, I kind of judge them a little bit, and I feel like they're running from stuff. Like winning keeps them preoccupied from their pain. I just see that a lot in people.
Well, yeah, I think that could be the case for certain people. I don't think it was the case for me or you, Chili.
No, I mean,
but I think that for certain people that could be the case.
You don't think there's any part of either one of y'all that was trying to prove something to yourselves or to other people?
No,
Where does that come from?
So with going back to SEAL training, I literally just became obsessed with this thing.
Why?
I don't know. It just became what I wanted in life.
It had nothing to do with pride or prestige or wanting to be the manliest of all men or...
No,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it really didn't. It's just what I wanted.
That's fair.
I just became obsessed with it. It's the same with the Mid-State Mile. Keep going back to that. I just became obsessed with it. And you literally become unbeatable when you do that. You do. So here's the question, man. We just talked about all of that stuff about that singular focus and how that is a key element, I think, at probably the very top of the list of attributes that you have to develop in order to become successful at the highest level. We talked about it in context of our endeavors that we choose to become obsessed with here on this earth, our wants, our desires, the things that we decide that we want to chase. And in absence of that, you're not really going to ever be successful at anything in terms of your worldly endeavors. That's been so for me for the last 2 years. I've just wanted to dabble in a bunch of different things. Like I wanted to run Cocodona. I wanted to do TNGA. I wanted to do the tactical games. I want to ride the Colorado Trail. Like I'll finish. I have finished all of those things, but nowhere close to being able to win any of those things because I just kind of wanted to dabble, just kind of have fun, just do this here, do that there. You can do that, but you're never going to win. So my question to you is, do you understand why this is recorded in the Bible now a little better? When it's written, run so that you might obtain. Do you not know all those which run in a race run, but only one receives the prize, so run that you might obtain? Do you understand now the context of what is being recorded here in the Bible? Do you understand now what this is asking you? This is not asking you to try. When Paul, by inspiration of the Holy Spirit, says, run that you might obtain, he's not asking you just to train and to try hard. Run that you might obtain means that you have to become so completely obsessed with this, with serving the Lord. You have to become so completely obsessed with it that it is your singular focus in life. That's what he's saying the standard is. That's what he's saying to do. And he even goes on in verse 25, and he talks about how what we just talked about, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. That's what we've been talking about. We become singularly focused on things in this life in order to obtain a corruptible crown. But we, speaking of God's people, are doing it to obtain an incorruptible crown, eternal life with Christ. And it just really, I don't know, man. It just hit me, man. When I realized what this is saying for the first time. Because you read this and you just say, you can just think that he's just saying, give it a good effort. But when you actually break down, no, what is he say? How would I run to win in order to achieve a corruptible or to win a corruptible crown? It would be singular focus. It would be consistency. It would be specificity. It would be all these things, but we don't apply those things to our relationship with Christ, do we? We don't. It's just a thing in our lives, right? It's just a part of our lives. We're not obsessed with it. It's not our singular focus in life. We're not specific about it. We're inconsistent. We know all these things, but we don't do it. And so I'm going to ask you, if you're not doing that, do you think you're still going to win an incorruptible crown?
How are you not getting into faith by works in that? Like, you're asking people to do all of these things. Like, how's that not kind of leaning over that line? I mean,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's just where my head goes for myself. Is like, uh-oh.
I see what you're saying. I think the key to this is in the seeking. Like you obviously, like all things, you cannot do this in and of yourself. You can't just make the decision today that you are going to have a singular focus on Christ and just flip a switch in your mind and not look left or right and not get distracted by the things of this world. But this is what we should be striving for. This is the standard. This is what we need to be striving for. And our faith doesn't need to just reside as this piece of our life. You see what I'm saying, boo-boo?
I do. Do you think when he's saying, I think I have a New Living Translation, but when he says, do you not know that do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? They're saying prize instead of crown. Do you think the race, are you saying race is a like a metaphor for salvation? Like this life? Like, are you comparing a race to our eternal life? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's being compared to what you are doing for Christ with this life that you have.
Right, because Paul's talking about himself leading up to this verse, right? He's like talking all about his experience as an apostle, right? So he's talking about himself when he says that phrase about running the race, right?
Well, he's talking to God's people.
About himself.
No, it's actually written in the form of like this is a command, like run that you might obtain the prize.
And the prize is salvation.
Yes, an incorruptible crown.
So the running,
eternal life.
The running is the effort that you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think I get it. It's just I get really specific with things like this, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, what does running the race look like? And I guess that's where we fall back on prayer and just kind of listening to the Holy Spirit to guide you and what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Well, there's also different, I mean, I'd have to study it more, but there's more than just salvation. Like the Bible talks about getting rewards in heaven, right? Like there's two judgments. One, well, we won't go into that, but there's two judgments. And so, I mean, I don't know. The incorruptible crown, is that salvation? I don't know. I haven't studied that enough to know what he's likening that to, or is it the rewards you get for how you've lived your life? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would make more sense.
Well, the whole point in me, and you, baby, you asked like, what? Okay, so you're like, what does this look like? Well, what would it look like to you to have a singular focus on Christ?
Well, if I compare it to like your comparison of a singular focus during SEAL training, or if I compare it to Chili's singular focus that he had back when he was winning all of those races, it would mean, based on y'all's experience, that I couldn't have anything else in this life but my faith. Like, I couldn't have a husband. I couldn't have relationships. I couldn't give anything else attention, because I would only have to run the race of Jesus, and that would be it. But that defeats the purpose of what we're meant to do.
Yeah, no, that's great that you brought that up. So when you talk about the race, is the race not imaging Christ? And so by imaging Christ, what does that look like? It looks like you caring for people, right? It looks like you forming deep and meaningful relationships with people.
That makes a lot of sense too in the context of the verse. If Paul, like, if he was talking about himself as well as addressing like he is running the race, and like he was serving other people and like running himself ragged. You know, that's what he was talking about leading up into this verse.
Yep.
So that makes total sense. Like,
this is being written by a man who literally has cut out every other distraction in life he makes the statement that all of the things of this life, I just count them as a pile of crap in comparison to this incorruptible crown, in comparison to eternal life with Christ, in comparison to Jesus Christ. He's gotten to the point that he's cut out every other distraction, in this race that he is running for Christ is his singular focus of his entire life.
so what does that look like for you? Like if you were, obviously most standards in the Bible, we all know just inherently that we're not going to meet them. Like, that's kind of why they're there. That's why Jesus is there. But like, if you were to try to do what you're saying within reason of your capabilities, what do you think it would look like for you?
Well, there are a lot of things that I'm currently distracted by on a day-to-day basis.
Can you tell us, or are you just?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm distracted by my own selfish wants and desires. I'm distracted by the making money. I'm distracted by these physical challenges that I choose. And here's the thing, man. In all of those things, you could take this in a way of saying, okay, if all of those things are a distraction, Chad, are you telling me that you can no longer go out and like run a race? Are you telling me that you can no longer, want to work hard and make money? Here's the thing. All of those things can and should and must still be done. It's assessing the reason behind you're doing them, right? So if I want to say I'm going to go and do this challenge, this race or whatever it is, what's the purpose behind that? And so all of those things have to be brought into the context, and you have to really be honest with yourself about why you're doing the things that you're doing. And just like Chili said last week, he understood, he came to the realization why he was doing the things that he was doing was all for himself. And so he stopped freaking doing it, man. And so that's a big assessment.
So what's your reason why you still pick these big physical challenges like the Colorado Trail?
Well, I think that I am. This is something that I'm starting to want, or that I'm just starting to understand, that like Wow. Yeah, I have been serving Christ, but this has been like not even close to my singular focus in life. And so right now, the reasons that I want to ride the Colorado Trail are for selfish reasons.
Well,
What I'm saying is that in the future, I need to start thinking more about the things that I'm doing and doing them for the right reasons.
can I be like real for a second? And
Yeah.
this might be wrong. This is just somebody said on YouTube, and I looked over as I was thinking it. Sometimes things are for fun or interesting, and that is the why. And I think about, we've been reading Ecclesiastes at home, and I think about there's so many verses where, is it Solomon in Ecclesiastes? Is that- He's talking about the best thing you can do is enjoy your food, enjoy your drink, and enjoy your work, and like simply. And like he doesn't say, and like you need to glorify the Lord every time you eat. You need to. I think sometimes this gets too legalistic for my personality, and is like I go to CrossFit in the morning and I push my body really hard, and it like for me it's just a thing I do that I enjoy and that keeps me well. But I don't have an internal agenda where I'm doing it for Christ, and that might be wrong. But there are just parts of my life that like I'm grateful and I thank him for my ability to go do those things. But like that guy said, it is just because I enjoy it. It's just simply that. It's like it is something fun, and I don't know. I'm just curious about like, do you guys think that's wrong? Like, I'm going to go ride the Colorado Trail because it feeds my soul and I love it. Am I doing anything for Christ while I'm doing it? I'm not sure.
So, yeah,
But-
then would that be classified a waste of time?
But that's what I'm asking you. Do you think
Yeah.
so? So you think if I go work out at CrossFit in the morning, or if somebody goes on a 4-mile run before they start their day, or if somebody goes to a social outing and spends time with their friends, or name the activity, something just people enjoy, if they're not going into it with the intention of doing something for Christ while they're doing that fun activity, they're wrong?
Is it a waste of time? Look, man, this is extreme.
I mean, I would say that doing those things is not wrong, and you don't have to say, I'm going to go to the gym today, and this is my this is my intention. But if you make who you are literally everywhere you go a representation of Christ, then the things that you do, you go to the gym and you work out, and someone sees how you act and how you respond and how you interact, then maybe you're showing Jesus to people there. Like, to me, the key is always having the Lord on your mind as you do these things. Like, okay, I'm not going to go in the coffee shop and get a coffee today because it's not glorifying God. Well, like, if you go in there looking for opportunity and always having Jesus on your mind and thinking, how can I represent him? How can I, share his word? How can I live it out in front of other people? Then to me, like, the desires that you have, if you're serving God, are probably placed there by God for some reason. And so it would be a waste if you went to CrossFit and you said, yeah, I'm going to go in here and, if I get mad, I'm going to cuss. I'm going to, do like, I'm not going to represent Christ well. Well, then that's the problem. Not that the problem is not whether you went to CrossFit or not. It's who you are when you went to CrossFit. And I think it's the same thing with the bike ride. And so, to me, you should always be looking for opportunity and be mindful of how you're running the race. Like, that, to me, that verse means like how you live your life. And it's not about, for me, like that verse means to me, don't be complacent in the way you live your life. Live your life on purpose, deliberately. Do the things you do. Like, it's not wrong to go to CrossFit. Just go to CrossFit for a reason. Like, yeah, you're staying healthy. That's a reason, but you're also going to represent Christ there. And so I think it's more about where your heart is and where your mind is while you're doing the things that you desire to do, and less about the things that you actually do, because we all like to do different things. And it would be wrong to say, well, just stay at home and do nothing unless you're going to go do something, that is directly serving the Lord, because these things you could kind of view them as, I mean, they are directly serving God, but they're not, as we in America would call, ministry. Like we're out on the streets preaching have the Bible in our hands. There's other ways going about it. So
I think that's great, Blake. And I think when you're as a child of God, when you're doing things with that mindset, you're actually going to find more joy in the activities that you're doing than you would find in doing them for whatever other selfish reason there is that you're doing them, right? And the reason I'm bringing this up, man, and then Chili, I know you got something. I want to become completely obsessed with God. Like, I want that so bad. I want Jesus Christ, God, and the Holy Spirit to burn so hot within me that I don't care about anything else in this world other than serving Him. That's what I want. Like, I'm desiring this, man. And I understand it deeply. And the only reason I understand it is because I've done it in human endeavors, and I've done it toward worldly things, so I understand what that is and what that looks like, and I want that, man. I don't want anything else. Like, I'm so sick of my foolish self being distracted by all of this stupid stuff and my own stuff and the things of this world. And I'm so sick of just being, I just want to burn with passion and obsession for God. And that's it. And I'm praying for it. Like, Biscuit, you've heard me pray, like, God, give me a singular mind upon you, and that's it. That's all I want, man.
If He did that, it would be way too easy for you. It would make your walk with Christ so easy if He switched your mind to where that's all you focused on. He's never going to do that. That's part of the struggle. You wouldn't be tempted anymore.
Well, that's what I desire.
Well, that's a good desire.
What you got, Chili?
I just think some of the confusion with like what Blake was speaking on is a carryover from last week to try to relate Chad doing the Colorado Trail or going to the gym or some singular event to the way I was living my life. Like, some people can hear my story and then go, well, crap, I'm signed up for an ultra marathon or some event, and maybe I'm doing what Chili's doing. It's like, well, I mean, maybe. Everyone can assess themselves, but the difference comes in, to me, the word that's being hit around and touched on in this conversation is worship. Like, Chad, when he's praying for that, he's praying to worship God and nothing else.
In everything that I do. Yep.
That's why I try to tell the story. Like, the reason it was a problem is not because I did a lot of races or not because I was very into it or that I like to run. I was worshiping, and to me it's incorrect to say worship and running. I was worshiping myself. You can absolutely run a race and not be worshiping yourself. People do that all the time. Brooke, like, I don't want to speak for you, but you don't go to the gym to worship yourself.
No, I mean,
like, you don't.
We ended the workout today with me and Rob and Jessica sitting around talking about Christ for 30 minutes.
Well, there you go.
So, I like what Blake said. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you don't do that. And
thank you.
Like, what that's talking about, or what Paul's talking about, is the race you're running. I mean, yeah, the race is simply your life. And how you live it. And that comes down, like, when you say, how do you live it properly, basically, to win? You worship God and nothing else.
Man, that's well said.
I mean, that's
That's what I want, man. Gosh.
Run the race properly.
But is that attainable for any of us until we die? Maybe for a split second or maybe for 10 minutes. Yeah. Like, can we not worship food or sex or relationships? Or, like, are we capable of, or exercise or ourselves or our children? Like, are we capable of that?
Well, by ourselves, no. Through Christ, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, Boo Boo. I mean, that's a deep question. It's like when you have to understand the work that is done in a human being, the work that is done when we are reconciled to God is a miraculous work. Like, you literally become a new creation. Me and Cornbread were just talking about this yesterday. Before you are reconciled unto God by way of his son, Jesus, before that happens, you cannot love God. As a matter of fact, you hate God. That's why there's so many ugly comments when we talk about things like this, is because the unregenerate man hates God. Because he sees God in his absolute perfection and righteousness, and then he sees himself in the poor, sad state that he is in, and he hates God for his righteousness. And when the Lord saves you, he literally removes your heart of stone, which is every human being who is unregenerate, who is not reconciled unto God, has a heart of stone that cannot love God. That heart of stone is removed and replaced by a heart of flesh that can then know and love God. It's a miracle. The work of salvation is a miracle that is done by God. You become a whole new creature. So then and only then can you begin to desire to want God and only God. And can you reach that? Can you be conformed and conformed into that person who the only thing that you worship is God in this life? Yes, I believe that you can. That doesn't mean that you are going to be sinless. That's not what that means. And it doesn't mean that you're going to make mistakes. But when you make that mistake and when you begin to worship something other than God, it's going to cut you deep, son.
Yeah, that's what happened when I was policing. I was thinking that when you and Chili first started talking about winning competition, I've never been really a competitive person at all. I really don't have a competitive bone in me. So until I got a job policing, and to win the day policing was going home. Like, if you lose that day, you could possibly die. So, I learned through training how to implement things and how to make it home, until I heard about this thing called the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Awards every year. And y'all had a family member that was taken by a drunk driver. I was a police then, and I was really good at getting DUIs. And the department I worked for, the most they had in a year was 15. One officer got 15 DUIs in 1 year. I said, oh, I could smoke that. So I got 50 that first year.
Whoa.
75 the next year. So I was competitive. Wasn't nobody going to beat me. The surrounding places, Harlem, Paulding County, none of those deputies was beating Corn. Corn was the top DUI dog, son, period. So I become competitive about it. But what that did also fueled something else in my ego. So we'd be going to a call and somebody would say, hey, the woman on 911 or the man on 911's hollering behind the woman saying when the police get there, he's going to kill them. Oh, no, you ain't going to kill Corn. Corn's freaking Batman, dude. I'm the champion at getting dope and DUIs. I'd have to be the first one there. I remember one night there was a guy, we didn't know what he was doing at the time, but he was firing a rifle. So, man, these apartments, 911's flooding this place, right? This is about year 5. I'm a police. I've been really good at winning the day. I ain't got killed yet. I've been smoking people on getting DUIs. I made all these felony dope cases. That competition, I was thriving on it. Well, what didn't I have? Just some really gnarly stuff. I wanted some really gnarly stuff. So hundreds of 911 calls are coming in this apartment that there's a guy firing a rifle in the breezeway.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so we're storming that way, and I'm calling everybody, do not go through that gate first. I'm the first one through the gate. Like, I'm worried about being the first one through the gate and no telling who he's killing in this apartment, right?
Yeah.
The possibilities. But I'm worried about being the first one to engage him.
Yeah, your glory, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm storming there. Everybody, I literally made the other police officers wait in a parking lot because I was pitching such a fit on the radio that I was going to be the first one through the gate. Stormed through the gate like I'm freaking Batman. Ends up he was shooting a deer, but nonetheless.
What?
So as y'all are talking, I'm thinking to myself, I basically have to do the opposite of competition. And I really don't know what the opposite of competition is. Because if I do compete, it's quirky, our little turkey competition. For those 9 straight days, that's all I did, dude. If I wasn't here working, I was either turkey hunting or figuring out how I was going to turkey hunt.
Yeah, and you won.
And that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have a goal of, hey, look, I want to get my buddy out and get him back to turkey hunting like we used to when you was younger. But I really wanted to win too.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what the opposite of competition is. Is it complacency? Is it? I have to do the opposite
Isn't it humility?
of competition. I don't really know. I don't know.
That is a heck of a question. What's the opposite
That is
of competition?
I have service in my head too. I don't know why that's popping in my head. That is a
Yeah.
really good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think service would be a good one too, baby, because I see that in myself. I'm highly competitive, but I'm terrible at serving people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really competitive. I like to go compete, but I couldn't care less if I win or not.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I do like a competitive atmosphere, but if I come out middle of the pack, well,
So what it
that's
so
fine.
competitiveness is wanting to win. Is that what it boils down to?
I would say becoming obsessed with winning.
So well then so the opposite is just not.
Teamwork?
Well, you could be competitive at teamwork.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
The opposite,
I mean, I like to win. Like, I like to win things, but if I don't, it don't really bother me.
Well,
opposite's apathy.
Well, both of y'all are really successful at ultra running and the endeavors that y'all did. When I was really successful and I couldn't get into that gunfight that I wanted to,
Yeah.
like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, and when I couldn't just be into the awfulest car chase that ever happened in the state of Georgia, when that couldn't happen, here come the alcohol, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, here come the alcohol. If y'all aren't going to compete, Chili, you're not running right now. Like, what's going on? Like, you're not running. You can't win no more races if you're not running.
Yeah.
Chad, you haven't run in a little while.
Yeah. I mean,
What feeds it when you are competitive and you're not being competitive?
Man,
Aren't you
that's
doing the opposite?
That's a great question for Biscuit because this is something that we've talked about.
Oh, it is.
That, like, if Chad doesn't have something coming up, like a challenge of some sort, and it doesn't have to necessarily be beating other people, he just has to be challenged himself. He feels like,
could just be beating myself.
there's a void. There's a void there.
When I really learned it was serious with Chad, I was on the basic course, and John Cox was on my team. And I remember I was up front day 3, whatever, and I heard Chad say, and he was dead serious. He said, "I don't think y'all can bring anyone there to make me go further than what I've ever went."
Yeah.
And he was serious, and I was like, that dude is serious about what he's doing. Like that is a seriousness I don't even understand in competition because I'm not competitive.
But man, the way you describe that, like, you're not competitive at what? You were sure as heck competitive at that. I mean, like
At what?
Wanting to be whatever you were striving
Number one
for.
DUI.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
one
all that,
DUI.
yeah.
I mean, that is that ain't nothing else but competitive.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like with me, the way you even described that, of like, it would almost just like gnaw at you and like eat at your flesh if you didn't get there first. Like, that's how it was with me if I didn't do what I wanted to do. I mean, it was like it was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
You know, but the weird thing with me is I don't even know if you'd call this competitive because I didn't give a crap if I beat anybody. Really, I didn't. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's why I say I don't even know how competitive this even is. I was literally just worshiping myself. Like, if I beat somebody, I didn't give a crap. Like, it was literally about running faster. I mean, I won a race one time by 3 hours. It was a 50-mile race. Of course, that all is dependent on the competition and whatnot. But, I mean, I was so freaking mad when I finished that because I didn't run as fast as I thought I would that it literally almost ate me alive. I mean, I just pitched a freaking fit in my head and was just miserable and didn't know what to do, was just like almost antsy. And like went home and did the same thing for weeks. And like winning, being competitive, beating people, like that didn't even matter. That didn't really play into it. So I don't even know how to I don't even know if I'm competitive or not either. Like, I don't know. I don't think competitiveness was what was driving me to do any of that. You know, and the way you described that, maybe it wasn't competitiveness actually, because
it could have been the same thing, self-worship.
I mean, to some level, something like that, because like you said, you didn't care to beat people necessarily. You just wanted that bad.
Right.
You wanted that interaction, that fight.
I wanted that confrontation.
Yeah. Bad.
But why,
It wasn't about
I
beating
couldn't
somebody.
tell you. I think once I become competitive and got all those DUIs and like there was nobody going to beat me. Like even if someone did beat me, I'd had a 4-year span of an impeccable record that it was going to take someone 5 years to touch.
Yeah.
Even if I was beat 1 year, like I couldn't go much higher. Like, let's be real, Dallas is a pretty small town. Once you get in the 125, 150 range of some DUIs, you've just about locked everybody up that was drunk, driving drunk. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I don't know if it was, hey, this is high as you can go with this. So then it moved on to drugs. I've got to get all the heroin, all the meth. I've got to get all that on the shifts that I work. And I had a partner, y'all know him, we was good at it, like really good at it. And we had to get all of it. And that was fueled too. Like I had some support. I had some people pushing me too. Like, hey, man, that's awesome, dude. We never would have thought that person was DUI. How did you know? Well, you know, one eye was messed up and one wasn't, and they talked stupid. So we went from there. So that just fueled me up.
Well, you know what it sounds like to me? It's more obsession than competitiveness.
Yeah.
And that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it's more obsession. And that's why you talk about what you replace it with. Really, how do you replace competition with much other than more competition? Like, but you can replace obsession with another obsession, with alcohol or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then you ask me and Chad, what have we replaced certain things? But I
guess the grand question is how do I, all those things I just explained, when I felt like I've been competitive, when I felt like I've been in my peak, how could I be with my peak in my relationship with Jesus? Mm-hmm. I know I have to do the opposite of all those egotistical things that I did, but dude, I don't know what the opposite is.
Well, I don't know that's right, Corn. It's almost like you don't have to do the opposite of all those things. It's actually you have to do all those same things, but direct them at.
Well, who am I in competition with?
So I agree with I think the whole we've gotten sidetracked on this concept of competition. I don't think it's that. I think it's I think it's the obsession.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah.
I think that we've gotten sidetracked with thinking that we're talking about competitiveness here.
Well, there is a competition between your flesh and your spirit. Like, one is going to win.
Yeah.
You do have that, like, wrestling inside your inside you. And so it is a competition in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the obsessiveness is a better fit for what we're trying to describe. And yeah, man, I just wanted to share that with y'all because, you know, Biscuit said, like, well, what do you, she's right. In the past, I have needed something in my life to obsess over. And the last couple of years, I haven't really had that, the last 2 years or so. And I haven't really been winning at anything. And I would say I also haven't even been winning if you could even categorize like winning in the race that have been called to run for Christ. Like I haven't been winning at anything because I haven't had an obsession. And yes, I think a lot of humans want that. They want something to be focused on and to be obsessed with. And I would say just about everybody could point something out in their life that is that thing for them. Mm-hmm. But like I'm at a point in my life where I want to be obsessed with the Lord. Like that's what I want my obsession to be. And that's something that I'm praying for, you know what I mean? And it makes me think about next year. It's like, what am I going to do next year? You know, because I fall back into these, like I was thinking about this year, I was thinking about next year, or just a few days ago, I was thinking about next year going back and winning the Mid-State Mile again. Just because I think it's about time to do that. But then I'm like, no, man. You don't have if you want the Lord to be your obsession, you don't have the luxury of getting obsessed with that again. So can I go back and win the Mid-State Mile next year? Yeah, I can go back and win that next year, but I need to seek the Lord and I need to really think about why I'm going to go do that. Like, what's the purpose in that, man?
And you also have to be careful not to manufacture some reason.
Oh, you can do it easy.
Yeah, and say, well, that's really what I want to do, and I could represent God in this way, so I'm going to go do that. And you're really just manufacturing this reason to go fulfill the want that you have. I mean, I've done that before.
Well, yeah, it's just mental gymnastics. It's like, well, I want to do this race just because I want to do it, but that don't seem right, so I'll just say it's to glorify God. And you're like, well, I mean, it is. It's like, well, can I not? Can I not?
Yeah.
Can I not do it for that? And someone goes, well, yeah, you can. And you're like, well, that's what I'm doing it for then.
Yeah.
But it's like.
Exactly, man. and like, that's painful to think. It's painful for me.
I've done that a lot.
In my flesh right now to think about, hey, man, you really desire to be singularly focused on God, your life is going to look different. Like it's going to look different than it's looked in the past.
Well, you can't really plan that stuff out. Like you can't think about next year if you're going to live that way. You just really got to think about tomorrow. I mean, and you're good at that, but unless that's something God puts on your heart, then you can plan on it, you know, but short of that.
Really, you worry about today. Jesus said worry about today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's got its own troubles.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah, I've just been, that's been something that's been heavy on my heart, and I don't think that my life, my endeavors, my efforts have been reflecting my desire to be obsessed with God. I don't think they have, and I'm asking the Lord to lead me into a season that lasts hopefully the rest of my life where I'm obsessed with Him.
I feel like our family, we have gone through some wild stuff in the past few months, and I have seen you be completely selfless for 30 days straight and take care of other people and constantly talk about Jesus and God and pray with people. And I just feel like I've seen you do that recently, like for a long period of time.
Yeah, man.
I think you've.
I just want more. I just want more. I don't think that'll ever stop for me.
No, that's a great thing, but I feel like, and again, I'm like, y'all, I have to say it, like, I could be very wrong, but I just feel like with the ebbs and flows, like, to me, you were very singularly focused and leaning on Christ for a while there. And then when your blood clot came, it kind of like shook you up a little bit out of that like place you had been in. And I don't think you turned away from Christ, but I think it was harder for you and you weren't in a support. All I'm saying is I think that that's a great goal to have, and I also have that goal. But for me, I have to mentally be realistic that I'm going to have moments, minutes, maybe a month, maybe months, maybe 2 years where I don't know, where I'm capable of that. But something in life will probably knock me back down and I'll have to get back on. You know, I think it's always going to be just a fight for that. I just don't see it ever being like, all right, he's done it. It's over. I'm singularly focused from here on out. You know, it's like,
No, there's no finish.
it's just, yeah, until we die, the singularly focused is just going to be a battle, you know? And it's going to get easy and then it's going to get hard and then we're going to forget about it and get complacent and lazy and then
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, because this life will keep throwing new things at you, and it's just a new part of training. It's just like a new training evolution that you haven't faced before. Yeah.
One thing I'll say too is, I can hear it now. The idea that you in particular are being too hard on yourself about, oh man, you're just being too hard on yourself. Like, you're doing good. You're selfless. You're this, you're trying to nitpick all this. And I mean, you're just trying to do the Colorado Trail you've got a good reason for that, all this stuff. It's like the same brutal honesty that you need with yourself to try to be the best at something like running or like going through buds or whatever it is. Like, that's another thing, consistency, specificity, and brutal honesty, as I would say, because oftentimes if you keep doing that, you'll realize you ain't training as hard as you think you are. You ain't doing as good as you think you're doing. And so if that's applicable in those endeavors, like we've been relating everything back to, that's also going to need to be there when you're talking about serving Christ better and running the race better. Mm-hmm. Like, how you do that is brutal freaking honesty. Be like, yeah, I'm doing good, but I literally just realized I was doing the Colorado Trail for some selfish reason. Well, freaking screw it. I mean, that is rough. And I'm not saying he should not do it at all. I don't know, but
that's the interesting thing though, Chili, is you're exactly right about what you just said. But it's not brutal because all of these thoughts are coming from my love for God.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand, I'm not beating myself up. I just want more because I love God. Like, I want more of him because so it doesn't hurt me to think, dang, Chad, you've been doing a lot of things in your life for the wrong reasons. Like, I'm not beating myself up by saying that. That's all spawned from me loving the Lord more and more and more. And it's like, I want it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's brutal in the sense that it's literally killing off more of you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're dying, when you say that. So it's brutal in that sense. I mean, to be that brutally honest with yourself and about what your actual reasons for things are, I mean, it's literally killing you in a good way, like killing you.
Yeah.
The part of you that needs to die.
the flesh.
Yeah. So, I mean, and to me, it's brutal in that sense. It's not like it's your reformed mind, your new self that actually desires the things of God. Well, yeah, it's not brutal to that.
Yeah.
But it is to the part of you that was making the decision to do whatever for selfish reasons, if that's the case. I mean, it's brutal to that.
Yeah, and I'm thankful I'm thankful that God has even put this desire in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so thankful to think about that and to see that for really the first time in my life, and to read that verse right there for the first time in my life, although I've read that dozens and dozens of times, and I've always looked at it as saying, well, you just need to make a good effort. And then to be able to read it for the first time and say, no, that's like, come on, man. You know what this means. You know?
Can we do anything to change our desires?
That's a great question.
No, I think it's all a miraculous work. It's all a miraculous work. In my own experience, I can't speak for anyone else, but it's all a miraculous work. Like even salvation in and of itself is a miraculous work. Like, we think so much that it's a choice that we make or a decision that we make. Like,
I just can't even square that.
Yeah,
really.
it's how it's presented. Even in the evangelical circles, it's like, you need to make your decision right now. You need to make your decision right now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, it's a miraculous work that you hear the gospel and the Spirit of God moves upon you and removes your heart of stone and replaces it with a heart of flesh, and there is a miracle done, and your old self dies and you are made a new creature. Like, that's the reality of it. No, Chili, we can't do anything to change our desires. It's all a miraculous work that's being done by the Spirit of God moving upon us and moving in our lives. That's what it is, man. Like, it's hard to accept.
Yeah.
Chili, when you say that, I was thinking about this today, and it does pertain. It's like there's so much on social media about think positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Change your mindset. Focus on good things, and you will have good things.
Yeah.
And I think about if you put a bunch of people in the room and you said, do not think about red Jeeps. Whatever you do, don't think about red Jeeps. What is everybody going to think about? It's like, I think I definitely think being careful about what you consume and the people you're around and what you fill your life with. But I've learned for myself, I can't control all of my thoughts and desires. I can control what I act on, but there are a lot of things that come up in my head that are not me. They're not who I am in Christ, and that's like what you're saying. It's, as a human, as lowly as we are, sometimes it's hard to decipher that. Like the things that your thoughts and your desires and what is from my flesh and what is from Christ. And yeah, I don't know. Just, I love that you said that. Can we control our desires? I think
our desires,
or change. Yeah. For me, I think through action, I have over a long period of time, but it's never happened for me that I've wanted to change a desire and I just read the book and think the thoughts and it just happens.
Yeah, like wanting to want something doesn't make you want it.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
You would almost think it does, but it's like wishing you wanted to serve the Lord and nothing else doesn't really make you stop wanting other things. Like it's strange.
Yeah, and the working out of this, what this looks like, I don't know, man. Like, 'cause I'm to the point right now, just to give you a practical example, that like I have to go speak this weekend, or I get to go speak this weekend to a company. And companies hire me to come and speak. And usually when I talk to them on the pre-call, they're like, we want you to motivate our team. We want you to tell them about teamwork. And we want you to tell them about how to get through hard stuff. We want you to motivate our team. And I am to the point now in my life where I don't want to talk about any of that. Like, I don't want to come to your team to motivate you. I want to come to your team to tell you about the Son of God who died on the behalf of all mankind. Like, that's what I want to tell you about. I'm not excited about telling you all of these things that are going to motivate you and that are going to help you be successful in this life. Like, I'm not excited about that, man. That's not what I want to tell you. And so I don't know. I don't even know what to do with this. I'm just being real with you, man. Like, I don't want to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do with that, man?
Well, there's no coincidence there's no such thing to me as coincidences. That you just said 10 minutes ago you hadn't really been running anything, you hadn't won anything, so that ain't what you've been doing. You've been growing your faith.
Yes.
And that's what you want to talk about. That's not a coincidence.
Amen, Corn. Yep, boo. It shows in you. I think everybody, I know, because I've heard everybody around you can see you changing. It's evident.
Well, praise the Lord for that. Well, all right, let's take a break, and then we're going to pick up with our Patreon questions.
Oh, are we breaking?
You can continue if you want. I just got to pee. I got to stay hydrated, you know.
Everybody that needs to pee, go pee.
You got to pee, Corn?
I'm going to turn the air down.
We're just going to keep it live.
Or did you fix that time, Blake?
Well,
Go
dang.
check it, Bubba.
I want to ask you a question, Corn.
Bombs over Baghdad. Come on. Let me get a hoist.
This podcast is going rogue.
No, it ain't bad. Look, you just keep it live. No one wants you to go pause.
Come
I was
on
going
with
to
it,
ask
Mama
Blake
Brooke.
about the tactical games, but
So, whoa, that's Chad. There you go. There you are, Corn. When you're talking about that being the, like, going from the DUI to the narcotics, like, the guy, did you have a nickname?
Me?
Yeah.
No, Corn.
Well, that's boring.
But it was a backwards K when I was a police.
Oh,
Corn
okay.
with a backwards
That's
K.
it. I think about Chili.
Brian Welch.
When I was out using, do you mind me sharing this, Corn?
No, go ahead.
When I was out using,
Oh, he nabbed you, didn't he?
he could have nabbed me. Literally multiple times he saw me high as crap in the same, I don't know why I kept going to that gas station. You and Chris were always there. And one time I was with this feller who was out of his mind high. And Corn, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Corn was right behind us in line. And I knew Corn was in uniform, and I was trying to shut this dude up. I was like, dude, you freaking shut. Like, I was okay enough to like know, and he was gone so far that he didn't even like think. He was just. I think he started talking to you.
Yeah.
Like an
And we
idiot.
talked in the parking lot, too.
Yeah, like Corn absolutely knew.
Yeah.
We were high and we had drugs on us. Corn, you knew that about me every time you saw me. Why didn't you ever get me?
Well, I've known you since you was a little girl. I love you.
Oh, thanks.
I could tell that you were going to be okay. I
How?
wasn't really,
How?
but I could just tell. I could tell you was going to be fine. But I will say this, I owe both of y'all an apology because that night specifically, I mean, the very first thing I said to Chad next time I talked to him was, man, Brooke was up there at the QT with this dude and they were blitz. You may not even remember, out of their freaking mind.
we were.
And every time I would see you, that if I wasn't talking to Chad, I was telling James right off the rip.
Yeah. Well, you should have. I mean, that's what a good friend would do. Like, I was not a safe person.
Yeah.
I was not well. I would totally tell him. Why would you owe us an apology?
One time we followed you. We followed you to wherever y'all pulled over at to make sure you got where you was going.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my
In
gosh.
secret. I like Batman. You
That
know
gives
what
me
I-
freaking chills, Corn. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I could have been one of your just another number for you, so easily. That's crazy. Well, thank you. That makes me kind of feel a little emotional. That's weird. I was back in the
Think
day.
about that next time you want to hate on me for being fat.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, she literally wrote piggy on my sandwich at the rock course.
Yeah, basically, you could still be in jail.
Oh my God.
Corn wasn't the only police officer that had a great opportunity to put me away for a long time and chose not to. I don't know why. I guess, like Corn said, it's the Lord,
And
obviously.
here you are calling him Piggy.
Okay, hey, fatty, why didn't you arrest me?
You was fat in that uniform back then.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, sorry to derail, but that's when you were saying that, I was just thinking, dang, that's crazy that was during that time. And
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Well, y'all ready to move on to Patreon questions?
Yeah, man.
Good Lord. I ask Corn every week to give me one question. And this week, he's given me 4 questions.
pick
Well, they're
one.
too hard for me to pick from.
He's given me
Like,
4 questions.
I like all of them.
Pick one.
Those is what I narrowed it down to.
Oh, man, Corn. So if you guys don't know, these questions every week come from our patrons over on Patreon. These are people who have made the decision to selflessly contribute to our podcast and to 307 Project here. Obviously, the podcast is free, but these people have decided to contribute their hard-earned money to keep everything here at 307 Project up and running the way it runs. And so they send us in questions every week because I love to hear what's on their mind. And we try to give back on Patreon. We do Resurrected 3 Sundays a month, which is a more in-depth sit-down study or lesson from the Bible. I love it. It's a live call. And then Corn is now all the time posting behind-the-scenes clips and content on Patreon. Chili does a tip of the week.
Well, let's skip a
about
week.
every other week.
Yeah.
A lot of that's on fitness stuff, whatever's on his mind. So if you guys feel led to, join us on Patreon. And we greatly appreciate it. It's because of you guys and because of our partners that we're able to put so much time and effort into doing the podcast and even pretty much the majority of the stuff on the YouTube channel. So the first question from Austin. I don't know who wants to answer this, but it says, how does a 26-year-old choose a wife? He feels like the Bible doesn't help much in this category. Solomon somewhat describes a good versus bad wife in Proverbs. Is that all he has to go off in terms of choosing one wife that he's allowed in this life? So how do you choose a good wife?
He asked, he wanted to hear Blake's perspective.
Yeah,
on
he
that.
did. He specifically asked for
You're up,
Blake's comments
You're
on
up,
this.
Blake.
Well, that's a hard question. How do you choose a good wife? This is not what I did, but I think this is what you should do. I think you should just, if he's a follower of Jesus, and
Yes.
I think you should just continue following the Lord until someone else comes along beside you that is able to enhance that serving of the Lord that you're doing, and it not just be something, obviously it's something that you want. Maybe you want a companion, or I don't know what you want. I'd assume that's what you want a wife for, but I would just say to not get so hung up on that fact that you're thinking about, where's my wife? What should she be? What should I be looking for? And I would just say continue serving the Lord, and when she comes along, you'll know it. It's just like we were talking about just a minute ago. You can't get so focused on this that you're saying, well, it's not a bad thing. God created women for us, and I'm looking in the Bible for it. But then by doing those things, you're looking in good places, but you're looking for the wrong thing. You should just be looking for God. And I would say that a woman will come along if that's what God has for you and that's your desire, then you'll be on the lookout for it. But don't get so hung up on it that you don't continue doing the right things you should do.
Got anything, CB?
I ain't got nothing to add to that at all. Sounds good to me.
Well, immediately, I got a few things on this. How to find
Well, he asked Blake.
how to choose a good wife. I would say the number one thing to look for is to find a woman who loves the Lord. If you can find a woman who loves the Lord, that's going to be a really helpful thing for you guys in your marriage, because you're going to be on the same page about the things that really, really matter. And so it's going to save you a lot of hard training that you're going to have to go through otherwise. So if you can find a woman that loves God, that's a wonderful thing. And the Bible actually specifically tells us or warns us not to be yoked with unbelievers. And so that's in there. That's in there because it works. Like, the other thing is, don't get confused by thinking that there is some perfect woman out there for you. When you, this has been my experience anyways, and I think Biscuit would agree with this. When you get married, you go through a process of growth together. And when you get married, you, in God's eyes, you become one single organism, and you go through a process of growth together. So that woman might not be perfect in the beginning, but if both of you love the Lord and you allow Him to work, you trust Him to work in your marriage, He's going to do a work in perfecting both of you for each other as one organism. Right? And then he also asked, how attracted should I be to her?
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that, well, yeah, you ought to be attracted to your wife. I mean,
I think the Lord uses attraction. If this is just my opinion, if you're already seeking the Lord, I feel like He could use attraction in His favor, but that would be a slippery slope because that could also take you into left field, because you could choose a woman based on strictly her looks and then get married and be like, oh crap, this is not my best friend. This is just some really good looking woman that I have to spend the rest of my life with. Like, what did I do? You know?
Yeah, the main thing that I have to offer you on attraction to your wife is that, or attraction to the woman that you're going to marry, is that as God continues to conform both of you and perfect both of you together in that marriage relationship, you will become more and more attracted to your wife as time goes.
Aw.
So I am literally, infinitely more attracted to Brooke now than I was attracted to her when I met her when she was 16 years old.
And I'm worse looking now, so that says a lot.
Yeah, and I think we get really confused about like the idea of attractiveness, right? It's what the world?
She read something funny.
I think we get really confused about the idea of attractiveness, but yes, I will tell you it is a real thing that as time goes with that woman who God has made for you, as you honor her and serve her and she trusts in you, you will become more and more attracted to her as time goes on. I used to when I was in the Navy, I could leave Brooke for a 5-month deployment and like, yeah, I would miss her, but like it wasn't no big deal.
Hey.
I was
Your phone call said otherwise, you liar.
I could, but I could go and do my, just do whatever. But like now, when I leave her for a week, it's like, no, I want to be back with her. Like, it's way stronger. My attraction to her is way stronger now than it was in the beginning.
I feel the same.
So understand that, like, that's going to grow, and I don't think it's a reality that you're if you're seeking God and praying for this woman to come alongside you, I don't think it's a reality that he's going to send someone to you that you are incompatible with and that you just think is dog crap ugly.
I also think that people under the age of probably 25, 26, his age, they are getting screwed with that because they've just been like, we grew up early 2000s and cell phones were a thing, but social media wasn't really a thing yet unless it was like Xanga or something. And they can scroll and look at, well, even if you scroll without trying, they're going to end up looking at a ton of good looking women on the internet. Like you just can't, if you get on Facebook, if you watch TV, it's everywhere. So I think I would keep that in mind too as a young man looking for a partner, that like you have been conditioned by our culture to believe that women should look a certain way. And that's
100%.
That's not a reality. You know, you could end up with a woman like that, but more than likely, and I think a lot of men, when that attraction isn't there, that like overwhelming attraction, they're like, oh, she must not be the right person for me. And they don't get to know the girl. And it could be their person, you know, but we didn't have to deal with that as much. We had magazines, but it just wasn't, I think it's harder for young people now, especially men, just with the looks, like basing everything on looks, and they're just conditioned. They don't even realize it, you know?
Yep. All right.
Can I read a question someone asked?
No, we're still on Patreon questions.
Hey, read that guy's PS at the end of his comment real quick for Chili.
I have a comment for that fella.
Tell Chili to quit exhaling into the microphone after he talks.
Well, I have a comment for this fella. I have a comment for him. I think your whole question's screwed up. Be honest with you.
Shots fired.
And another thing, I already thought that, and then what you added about the attractiveness increases my thought that your thinking is screwed up. And Blake's answer is perfect for you. Only thing I would add is this whole notion of like choosing a wife, the way you worded that, and what I assume you mean by that, and then what you said about should I be attracted or whatever you asked, I don't like that question. I think that's I think you're looking at it strange. And I guarantee you I know what you would say if I could ask an array of questions to follow up, but I can't do that, unfortunately. But I would just encourage you to listen back to what Blake said as well. You have this idea that you're supposed to choose that, like, you got it backwards, man. That's all I'll say. You don't try to force. You can't force it. So don't try to force yourself into a married relationship.
Well, a lot of people do try to force it.
Yeah, and it
gets pretty miserable.
Pretty
quick.
miserable. Yeah. So I wouldn't do that. And not that maybe this sounds cliche, but like, you know, a part of being married is truly loving the person that you marry. You know, and like that I don't think you can really force that, but that should be, you should marry the person that you love. I mean, that you really want, that you love like Christ loves us, if that's to whatever degree that's even possible for us as humans to do. I mean, it's not like you just go around your life and pick a wife one day.
Right. Or one just falls out of the sky.
Or one falls out of the sky.
Slaps you upside the head. And you're like, oh, man, this is supposed to be my wife.
Yeah. I mean, Blake didn't really want to answer that, but I think
I thought he answered it.
No, he didn't want to answer it. He did a very good job of answering it.
Oh.
I don't think he wanted to answer it, but he did a good job.
Well, Chad's answer also doesn't, like, Chad answered, I wasn't a believer. I was a hot mess. I mean, like, we didn't follow our suggestions that we're giving to this.
Neither was I a believer, baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like Blake said, this is not exact. Did you say this is not what I did? Yeah, it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, that don't mean it ain't. Yeah.
Like, But we all have great marriages, so
Yeah, luckily the Lord redeemed our relationship.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge gift. All right. David's looking for a new Bible. What do we recommend? I like this Henry Morris Study Bible. And also somebody sent me a study Bible, John MacArthur Study Bible. I really like that Bible too. And it's in that New American Standard.
NASB.
NASB.
Yeah.
I really like reading that. So
Does anybody recommend a study Bible over just no commentary?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
You would definitely pick
Yeah.
a study Bible. Yeah. I don't know. What would you say, Corn?
I don't mind a study Bible, but I would caution against reading about the Bible more than you're reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The great thing about a lot of these study Bibles isn't necessarily the commentary, although the commentary, I think, like in this, I love Henry Morris's commentary in this Bible, but what I like about them is they have all these references in the margins where they have basically verses that are hyperlinked to other verses.
Yeah.
So there's all these references, and it just helps you navigate the Bible and to see things in better context and see how things build upon other things and fit together. So I like that. But yeah, I do like that NASB too. I've always been the King James Bible, reader, but I really enjoy the way that translation flows.
We've talked about it before, the different groups that they would fall in, but NASB, ESV, King James, New King James, that's the major literal or word for word category translations. All those are falling into that.
So that's what we got from Patreon today. Biscuit, did you have a question?
Am I allowed to say? I thought y'all might be able to help this guy out. He said,
Who's this coming from?
Jeff Allen. Jeff Allen, your wife is going to be pissed. He said, how do you tell your wife she's getting large?
Dang, girl, you getting thick.
Boo, do you think that's appropriate? If I started getting a little fat, would you tell me?
Well, I mean, I don't know why you'd tell a woman that anyways. I like big girls. I like a full-size woman. That's why I married you, Biscuit.
Like fat.
Huh?
Like fat.
I can't.
Full size.
You don't get full size.
I would,
Oh my gosh.
I married you, Biscuit.
Wow.
You just if your wife's big, you just need to appreciate it, man. Yeah. You don't need to encourage her.
What would
Big
you
girls.
say, Chili?
What would I say? What?
If you were married, Chili, he's
What
not
did he
he's not going
ask?
to answer this.
What? No. What did he ask? What are you? What
Verbatim. How do you tell your wife she's getting large?
Well, yeah, I can help him how you would say that. I'm not recommending you do this, but I would say, he said, how do you do it?
Yeah.
I would make the syllables with my mouth. Honey, you're getting large. That's what he asked. So that's what I do.
What's the problem? My question is, what's the problem with getting large?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't ask you if that was a good idea. He said, how do I do it?
Yeah.
You go, hey, honey, you're getting large.
Boo boo, if you ever
Exactly
get
right.
fat, I'm not gonna like let you.
What would you say to him?
I would say, you're getting fat, you're gonna get the diabetes. You need to go run.
I'm kind of pissed Jeff Allen asked that question because he knows how to say it.
Yeah, he knows how to say. If he knows how to type it, he knows how to say it.
Yep.
Jeff Allen's wife
If
is
you can speak, you can breathe.
Jeff Allen's wife, man. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's all I got for today, Blake. What we got?
All right. Let me get this mic here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there we go. We had Patricia Cox come in at $10. Any way you can make it counts. I think
Right.
she was talking about the tick that came in around the tick conversation.
Okay. All right. Patricia Cox. Where'd she come from?
She's
I
in
never,
favor of chili.
I never heard. We never seen her in the super chats
No.
before.
But did you mean to tell me that Patricia? Patricia. Wow, no, I apologize for that.
That's disrespectful.
Well, it wasn't intentional. That Patricia gave a super chat just to confirm that I was correct.
Well, to share her opinion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have a gift over here that I need to open too after super chats.
Okay.
Yep.
We had Caleb Sheets come in at $4.99.
Caleb Sheets.
He said, "Love and appreciate y'all. Keep the message coming. You're changing lives every day."
Thank you,
Thank you,
Caleb.
Caleb, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the super chat.
Night shift.
We'll have some of them wallets.
Is that night shift leather?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
We had little Virgil come in at 99 cents with a hamburger
Of
emoji.
course. Of
With a
course.
hamburger
Hamburgers
emoji.
are good.
Of course, we had little Virgil come in at 99 cents.
Then we had little Virgil come in at 99 cents with a city emoji.
There you go.
Good.
Little Virgil, I can't wait to meet you one day.
Man, it's
Little,
cold,
I'll tell you what, little Virgil, you have an open invite on the podcast. If you ever want to come on the podcast, just reach out to us and let us know. All right? I don't know how we're going to know it's you or not, but
Good point.
it's tough to verify.
Then we had little Virgil coming in at $1.99 with the laptop and the screen says work.
There you go.
Dang, little Virgil, you're getting generous. Getting generous, man.
Then we had little Virgil come in at $1.99.
Is little Virgil the only person other than Patricia?
And his little emoji thing said coming soon.
About
Thank
to be
you.
big, boy.
Thank you, little Virgil.
Dang.
Then we had little Virgil come in at 99 cents with the ice cream cone emoji.
Little Virgil, why don't you just do like a super chat that's like $4.99 or something that equals all 10 of your super chat?
then
You just do it 99 cents to make me mad, dude. I know what you're doing.
Then we had little Virgil come in at $1.99
Good.
with an emoji that says vlog.
Oh, wow.
Dude, what do you think about who is little Virgil? Like, Chili, what do you think about this guy, man?
Well,
He's here every week.
I think I'd pay big money to meet him. That's what I'll tell you.
I think he's a Chinese gamer and he's slightly overweight. And between gaming, he watches this YouTube. And then when this is over, he goes back to gaming.
There's no way he's Chinese.
No, he's American. I think he's having just a lot of fun.
He could be a Chinese American.
He is.
guys.
He's become a legend on the podcast.
Yes.
Well, then we had little Virgil come in at 99 cents with the rainbow emoji. And then we had little Virgil come in at 99 more cents with the dog emoji.
Dude, he was just on he's been on a streak.
And that's the end of little Virgil.
Actually-
night, LV.
Is it?
Well, later on he came back in, but we'll get there later.
This guy's a freaking legend, dude.
We had the wandering drinker of, I'm not sure, it just ends there, with this kind of weird emoji shaking like some kind of tambourine thing. It's $99.99.
Well,
Thank you for that, buddy.
Red Lightning, 99 cents.
Red Lightning.
Red Lightning, 99 cents.
You know what, Red Lightning? You can screw off.
Whoa.
We had Marty Bingham come in at $19.99.
Good.
Said,
Marty, man.
let's say somebody bought some fancy borderline something walking shoes and blew their ankle slap out about 30 minutes into the shakedown run.
Let's say they did. What you gonna do about it, Marty?
Yeah, for real, Marty.
Then he come back in at $9.99, and then he said, then stumped their big toe on the same foot so the whole foot is purple and about the size of a football.
Well, whoever that is just needs to get over it.
Thanks for sharing.
They just need to get over it and
Sounds like
carry
they
on,
bought
man.
ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then we had Don Joe Exnor come in at $19.99. Navy vet here too. Great live stream. I have to go now. Got to do some man stuff. God bless.
Man
Thank you.
stuff.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Don.
Then we had Marty Bingham come in at $9.99. Is that something they could suck it up and walk it off? Ain't nobody got time to soak in a bucket of water or stop training. What would you guys do?
Yeah, Marty. The Lord gave you 2 feet for a reason, Bubba. Because if one foot gets damaged, you can go on the other foot.
Just
all
use
right?
one foot, Marty.
so
Just do
get over
everything
it,
you
man.
need to do with one foot.
Don't come on here complaining, Marty. You go wash your dang overalls, put your overalls on, and go back out and get back after it. All right, Bubba?
Coming at Marty.
Jeez, Marty. People are in wheelchairs, for gosh sakes.
Change your dang socks. You got 2 feet, man. The crap, Marty.
God, Marty!
Then we had Anthony Honeycutt come in at $50.
Whoa,
Good
Anthony.
night.
He said it's so refreshing to see real men and women being open and honest about their faith. Be encouraged and know that y'all are making an impact and growing the kingdom. Thank you. God bless. That was their first super chat.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
for that. That's
Thank
very generous. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Mike Hoffman, $9.99.
Mike.
The victor goes the spoil. You won, Chili. Here is your prize. If you want to share with the other winner, Blake, your choice. Keep running your race with endurance.
Good work, Chili.
No,
Good
sir.
job,
I'm
Chili.
not going to share with another winner that don't exist. There's a real winner.
Hold on. Did this super chat come in while we were talking about the sandbag carry?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Well,
And
I
there's
don't know
and
about
there's a
that.
disingenuous winner, and that's
It might have
Blake.
just been when he listened.
Okay.
Then we had Red Lightning come in at $99.99.
Wow.
Good night.
Holy cow.
Well,
He
you-
said, they said, glad to see Brooke back again this week.
Aw.
I'd like to see Mr. Carrillo back on one of these days.
Bean.
Oh,
Oh
Bean
yeah,
is so
Bean.
good.
Bean can come on whenever he wants. Bean come on up here whenever he wants. Yeah, yeah, man. Biscuit brings that money in.
First you called me fat, and now you're friggin' selling
No,
me out
you're not
for money.
fat. You're just a big girl, baby.
Oh, my God.
You're just a fat gold digger.
Thanks for bringing in that money, bitch. Keep it coming.
Boom.
She gives enough of our money away, so thank goodness she brings it in.
Whatever. What was it?
Then we had Red Lightning come back in at 99 cents.
Dang.
Same guy,
Yeah.
Red Lightning.
And then we had Aaron Brown. This is his first super chat here.
Melman?
Yeah. Coming in at $1.99. Said, Sherbet Green, son. Mailman in the house. Go Vols.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aaron, you're going to come on here and make a comment like that. You can give a little more than $1.99, you cheapskate.
Then he gave 99 cents with
Yeah,
the
man.
rainbow emoji.
Yeah.
And then another 99 cents with the turd emoji.
He just went wild.
Well, you are a cheapskate, buddy.
And y'all get ready for this one now. You ready? This one is $4.99 from Ann Scott.
Whoa.
And she said,
night.
she said, Corn is full of crap. He always beats me and the boys at every game we played. He is very competitive.
Well, I mean,
son.
that's different in the living room. You know?
Dang, son. And coming in, dropping the truth, son.
Wow.
Corn over there trying to act like he ain't competitive.
Wow.
She can get on here and call him out.
Thank you for that, Ann.
Then we had the turkey orbital at $10. Glad I could help you win the 3 of 7 turkey competition, CB.
Thank you, Orbital.
Turkey
He's on Patreon too.
You know, I have such fond memories of Ann Scott. It's really strange. I don't remember a lot, as you guys know. I don't remember a lot.
Here we go with one of his stories along the middle of the super
But
chat.
I have so many memories of Ann as a young man, I guess, 15, 16 years old, maybe before then, coming into the house and, you know, Ann being there and getting up in the morning and cooking us breakfast.
Yeah.
I just warm, like, good memories of Ann.
Yeah.
They exist in my heart. Really, they do. I mean, I don't know why it's just, I don't remember a lot, but I remember those times,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
That is funny because you don't remember much.
No, I don't. I mean, for other things, like from those times in my life, like there's nothing. But I can remember the times of coming back to Corn and Ann's house and her being there. And I even remember her when she had Buck and when she had Cooney taking care of the baby. And
Right.
like, just, I don't know. It was just funny how those are just good memories that I have
Right.
from that time in my life.
Then we had Patrick Rowe coming at $1.99.
Thank you, Patrick.
Muscled Up Runner Greer at $9.99. I was obesity with I think he meant obsessed with winning, and then go win a road race and make myself suffer because it was never good enough. And after quitting racing, I went into a dark place. God has me now. I'm great. Love y'all.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
James Wright, $1.99, and
Like
this is
Dream.
James's 20th super chat.
Golly.
Right.
He said, "I'm obsessed with deep sea fishing. Chili is a hot dog."
Chili's a hot dog. I like that.
Oh, son.
I like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
The Real McCoy, $10. This is the first time I've been able to watch live. I just wanted to say hi and express my appreciation for all the work you all put into entertaining and educating us.
Thank you, Real McCoy. Thank you for tuning in, man. That's awesome.
The Gatekeeper, Radio 347, coming at $9.99. The work that you guys are doing at 3 of 7 is evangelical work that has rewards this world may never see. Your rewards are for the Lord, Proverbs 3:5-6. In all your ways acknowledge him. Your ways, in parentheses.
Thank you, Gatekeeper.
Ann commented, said, "Thank you, Chad. Love you."
I love you too, Ann.
Davy G, 1999. Good afternoon, 3 of 7. As always, loving your message. Thank you for changing my perspective on life and faith. Hoping to do the basic course next year.
I hope to see you out there, David G. Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Jesus Villanueva, come in at $5.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Patrick Rowe, come back into the $1.99 with the vlog emoji, similar to what?
That's a popular
Little
one
Virgil.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a popular one.
He's just being a poser.
Well, really, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrie McCleary, $9.99. God bless my fellow turds.
Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie.
James Wright, $1.99.
Pipe dream.
Maybe Chad's been called to preach. No rest if you are.
No rest.
No rest. All right. Thank you, James.
Muscled Up Runner Greer, $4.99. CB is a national treasure. I'm so thankful to have him in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that, man? How about what CB's done around here since he
I know
come
it.
in, man? Come on now. Let's just take a moment to
And give him a
reflect.
round of applause.
Let's take a moment to
y'all
reflect
comfortable
upon CB.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. CB, Blake told me, what was it? Maybe a year ago, you were like, man, sure would be cool to be able to hire Cornbread, and we just kind of would talk about it every now and then, right? Talk about it every now and then, and things finally got to the point where we were able to do that. And now look, CB's come in and changed the whole culture of 3 of 7 project, man.
Yep.
What a blessing.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Chad.
Don't thank me, Bubba. Thank my recruiter.
That wasn't funny.
Gatekeeper, Radio 347, coming at $1.99. Read Dangerous People, Brooke.
Okay.
There you go.
She ain't gonna read it, Gatekeeper.
Thank you, Gatekeeper.
You don't know that.
Highly likely.
She reads about 10 different books all at once. Finishes maybe 1 out of 10.
Well,
That's not true.
that's a good
We
way to
had
do it.
Drew Thornburg coming at $4.99 with a thumbs up emoji that says top.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Believe
Thank you,
that.
Drew.
Cole Cunningham, $50.
Good
Whoa.
night, Cole. Thank you for making an actual, presentable contribution.
He said, "Afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. And Chad, I hope your leg is making some progress and not giving you too much trouble. I just tried some Bojangles tea for the first time,
Tea.
and that stuff's no joke. Have a good rest of the week, y'all."
Bad
Man, watch
good.
that stuff will clot you up. We to film the video today on how to train with a blood clot. Y'all get ready for that.
In case y'all got one.
It's big.
We had Mud Baby come in at $1.99.
Mud, baby. Good. Where did that joke come out of nowhere? We ain't never heard nothing out of Mud Baby.
That's the first super chat.
Good night, Mud Baby. I like that.
Then we had Travel JJ.
I ain't never heard of him
Mud
either.
Baby didn't allow nothing.
No, no,
Crap, Mud Baby. When you give a super chat, you're supposed to say something, man.
no, nothing at all.
Mud, baby.
Travel, he said, can you join the SEALs ARH a TRT prescription?
I don't know. I don't know if they let you in while you're doing testosterone replacement therapy or not. Probably not. It's just pretty competitive now. If you ain't just fit as a darn fiddle, if you got anything wrong with you, they ain't gonna let you in. Joe Biden don't want you.
Little Virgil coming in at 99 cents with
Yep.
the emoji,
Yep.
and it's got a bead of sweat up on its head.
Yep.
Screw off, LV.
TJ McLaughlin, $9.99. $9 for CB to help with 75 hard, and 99 cents for Chad.
There you go.
You know what, man? TJ, I come on here every week, man, look, talk to y'all about this and that, and you're going to disrespect me like that, man.
It's TJ
You know,
this week.
I don't understand. I don't understand why people want to disrespect me like that. That's all right, though. I can handle it.
Well, Mud Baby come back in at $1.99, and this time they said, my form of payment to corn for the water bill.
Oh, that's kneeling.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's kneeling.
Mud,
Yeah.
baby.
I'll be darned.
Well, that's a hilarious username.
Mud Baby.
How about
That
that,
bull.
son?
You got the whole
She
family
runs
watching
that water
today.
bill up with that little swimming pool.
Oh, really?
We're gonna have to give Cornbread a raise just so his family can afford to keep doing super chats.
Cole Cunningham coming at $2. He said, I'm Vietnamese.
Thank you, Cole.
you
It's
go.
actually Vietnamese, but
V at the knees.
yeah, Vietnamese. If you look at Vietnamese people,
Viet-
their legs come
Let me say it
down
again.
from their thighs, and when they get to the knees, their legs V out.
Well, it really comes down from their hips, as
Bow-legged?
we learned today.
Yeah, they're V'd out. Yeah,
What?
Got you. Ain't never heard of
yeah.
it.
That's where the term Vietnamese originated. The original word is Vietnamese, because when people saw them for the first time, they said, "Dang, those people's legs look like a V."
The corner was fine. He's like, okay. Tell me some more about it,
Yeah,
boy.
that's the original term. When the Europeans discovered them.
Well, we had Chickweed YGD come in at $19.99. Said, love you guys.
Dang, thank you, Chickweed.
Thank you.
Little Virgil come in at 99 cents with a dog emoji.
Sure did.
LV, what the crap are you doing?
Good
LV?
night.
Luke
Blake.
Sparkman, $9.99. Have listened for many years. Hard to chat lives. Chad speaking to people and
Blake-
sharing the gospel is motivational and most helpful thing you could share.
Blake will straight up read
Thank
a
you,
super
good
chat
sir.
as they type it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you for listening, man.
hate to misrepresent what they're saying, you know. Jesus Villanueva come in at $5. Love to share our testimony with you guys. God bless.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
Cole Cunningham, I think he was saying he would like to share his testimony with us.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, Cole.
Cole
All right.
said $5. He come in at $5. Why does Chili have a bowl of contraception in front of him?
oh, that's Werther's original.
Yeah, come on, Cole. That's good for you. That's an aphrodisiac.
Oh my god.
That's a candy dish.
Yeah.
That. Oh.
Hey, Brooke.
I stopped.
Gia, tell him what he'll be doing in here. we had Hokey Bama come in at $5.
What's G gonna tell me?
I don't know.
Hokey Bama.
Yep.
Yeah, you do know.
No, I don't.
Thank
no,
you,
you
Hokey.
do.
I don't.
Then we had Clock and Floor coming at $1.99. Said decoy.
Thank you,
Clock and Floor.
Yep. Timothy. Ironclad come in at $30.70. Appreciate you all. Love the podcast and the YouTube content.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ironclad.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
thank you.
tuning in, man.
Marty Bingham, $9.99. Super chat would not let me say them shoes was borderline gay. But based on y'all's expert medical advice, I'm going to strap on some Rockies and carry on.
Yeah, that's what you need to do, Marty. Quit trying to get new school, man.
Cole Cunningham coming back in at $2 said hashtag Biden faux hospice 2024.
There you go.
There you go, Cole. Tell them how it is.
Dano, not in the lion's den. Be a good shepherd, raise up other good shepherds.
Thank you, Dano.
Hokey Bama back in at $5 said God bless.
God bless you too, Hokey Bama.
Mud Baby coming back in at $1.99 said corn is mad. I made a paradise in his front yard.
Mud Baby, Corn was just complaining about that this morning, Mud Baby.
It was saying you're running up the
You're
water
gonna
bill.
have to tighten up, Mud Baby.
Good night.
You're gonna get banned from around that place.
Then we had the last one that I'm reading. This is the last one. If more come in,
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
we appreciate you. BDNF guy, $10. Honey on top of every meal.
Believe
Yeah,
that.
believe that, man.
Honey's good.
You're gonna have to start. You're gonna start putting a above $5, aren't you? Limit.
Probably.
I can tell. I could see it today. You were just getting ticked.
My friend, it's something else. I've got a gift here to open. My friend Nigel, I don't know Nigel, but I assume he listens to the podcast.
Wasn't that who made the?
Yeah, I mean that's where the guitar came from.
Is
man.
it really?
Green, New
Same.
York? Yeah.
Hold on. Well, this Nigel right here is a darn doctor.
Well, that's why I said the guitar box was coming from a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Nigel's been practicing chiropractic care and
This is
acupuncture
the
for
same guy.
33 years. I'm telling you.
It's got to
Wow.
It's the same address.
He sent me a whole protocol here
I don't know what the deal is.
for blood clot and spike protein detox. He's written it all out for me. He's got all of these. I can't pronounce all of these. Chili, do you know what any of this stuff is? Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what he got me here.
Well, let's see what it is.
Tuna omega-3 oil.
Well, yeah, I know what that is.
Okay, that's one.
That's fish oil.
Multizyme.
Yep, enzymes.
Boswellia complex.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Well, not very in depth.
I
I
think
mean,
that's
here
an African herb.
This is your protocol to do what exactly?
Spike protein detox. People been shedding that. I think people been shedding that vaccine on me, and then also what I have left in me from getting the coronavirus too much.
Okay.
Shedding it on him.
Turmeric.
That's what they think.
Turmeric. You know what that is, Chili?
Yeah.
Pay attention, Chili.
It's a root, man. Make your fingers yellow.
Zinc.
Yep.
You know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Garlic.
Yo, I know what that is. Zinc's in your steak.
Cataplex ACP.
Not a clue.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Milk thistle.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
It's in milk.
It's the thistle of milk.
And Critura Plus. That's a blood vessel support. I didn't even realize that every one of these has a description of what it is.
That'd be helpful.
Okay. He's given me a whole protocol here of my spike protein detox. He's even included literature and a letter.
Dang.
And he sent me this handy thing right here
There you go.
so
That's
that
your-
I can split it out.
That's your pill box.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
split it out.
Dang.
So
It's about getting that phase of your life where you need one of those.
I'm just thankful that there's people out there that care that much about me.
Put a lot of work in.
Yeah,
did.
no doubt. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. And so I'm going to get started on this routine here, and hopefully it helps. Thank you so much, brother. That's special. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Lord willing, We'll see y'all next week. Right back here live on the 3 to 7 podcast. Nuff said.